Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I, as always, am Grestar, and this is another reaction to Death Battle, Batgirl versus SpiderGwen. So of course, make sure to click on the link in the description below to go to the official release first. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So, I must say before this battle begins that it has been spoiled for me. Not only who wins, but also how. So this is going to be one of those weird episodes where I actually don't have a prediction segment because I already know the stuff. To the person who spoiled me, I forgive you. Please don't feel, don't feel bad. Just don't do it again. On the bright side, I also read in the comments of the last Death Battle reaction that this episode is known by most people as what you would call not good. Obviously, I don't know, but just I think I've heard in particular that the animation was lackluster, but that even the analysis portion, or the two, it wasn't great, but we'll find out. So with that, let's get to watching. So here we go, Death Battle, Batgirl versus SpiderGwen.
Who runs the world?
The ladies? So obviously there's a bunch of awesome crime-fighting chicks out there.
Obviously,
Like
yeah.
Barbara Gordon, the DC Comics vigilante known as Batgirl.
That's right.
And Marvel's Gwen Stacy, the one you know as Spider-Gwen. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Now, if
And
this
it's our
is
job
a
to
bad
analyze
Death
their
Battle,
weapons,
that's unfortunate
armor, and
because,
skills
like,
to
I
find
was
out who would win
rather excited
a
to see
death
these two.
battle.
Also, that was an interesting pose the two did
Barbara
there.
Gordon always had a connection to crime fighting. Her father was Gotham City's police commissioner,
Yep.
and she idolized the legendary superhero, Batman.
So she whipped up her own bat costume to crash a police ball. Yeah, she's a rebel. But plot twist, a criminal crashed it first and she wound up saving the day.
Oh,
This sparked a fire in Barbara.
Good for
a
her.
fire for justice, and a drive to confront crime on her own. With this new mission came another goal, to officially join Batman and Robin.
As the next badass
So does she not
crime
actually
fighter,
need
Batgirl.
glasses. Does she wear
You know,
contacts when she goes
how come
out?
She's called Batgirl when Dick gets to be Robin? Her identity and individuality shouldn't be anchored to the patriarchal idea that women are publicly defined by the men in their life.
Well said, Boomstick. Now,
I mean, yeah, but
joining
the
Bat
point was
family
that she
wasn't
idolized
easy.
him, right?
The dynamic duo weren't exactly keen on adding a third wheel.
But Batgal worked hard to prove herself.
It's like, you have
She's not just a
Incrediboy,
tough
right?
fighter, she's super smart.
With a strong understanding of technology and computer hacking, Batgirl knew she could prove useful to a team that relies on tech. Like, Batman and Robin.
Right.
How could the bat and the bird say no?
And after settling into
Even though
the
I'm sure
Batcave,
Batman is
she
way
honed
more
her
knowledgeable
skills
than
by
that.
training with the Batman himself.
Who's basically the world's greatest ninja times 1,000.
Yeah.
Not like she was some rookie before that, though. Her cop dad had her study a bunch of martial arts like judo and karate.
Okay, that makes
Of
sense.
course, Batgirl wears her own custom bat suit, lined with Kevlar and filled to the brim with advanced technology.
Nice.
It's basically a slimmed-down combination of military-grade armor and spy gear that even James Bond would be jealous of. Heck, Batman's version helped him survive this humongous explosion.
Oh.
Look at the size of that thing.
Wow, yeah.
She also added plenty of her own tools to her arsenal for an extra advantage. Everything from a taser to pepper spray, concussion bombs, smoke bombs, and foam bombs that can bind people in place.
Nice.
What's with all the bombs?
And of course, she's got batarangs. Dummy?
Here I
Are
come.
those not...
I'm
Did those
just
bounce
dying
off of
to
people
help.
instead of, like,
Everyone knows
impale?
about the basic shuriken the bats are famous for.
Ow.
But Miss Gordon also carries an electric variant.
Poor dummy.
Well, that was...
Yeah,
oh,
that's very nice of you. That you never appreciate me. You know
Aw.
what? If there was an award for being nice, you wouldn't win it. You three hear me?
those are awesome. Let me try.
Aw,
Oh, God,
that was the
why?
wrong kind.
Why?
Maybe. Question mark.
Anyway, Batgirl's also got guns, but like non-bullet ones. She's got a gun that shoots sleeping gas, a gun that shoots a grappling hook, and a gun that shoots batarangs. Because why would you throw something when you can fire it out of a gun?
She's quick enough to dodge bullet fire and avoid electricity from live wire.
Who's basically just a scarier version of Blue Jamie Foxx from that one movie
Scarier,
about
oh.
amazing spiders. Also, Batbarb's tough enough to tank a 5-story fall or have a friggin' building explode while she's inside.
Dang.
Damn, girl,
Yeah.
you're unstoppable.
Well, until she was shot and paralyzed from the waist down. But even with the loss of her legs, she rallied around her peers and kept fighting the good
As
fight
Oracle.
as Oracle.
Haha.
Remember those computer skills? Well, they sure came in handy here, along with her photographic memory. Plus, she could
Oh,
dodge
photographic,
bullets
okay.
while in a freaking wheelchair.
What?
Man, I bet she'd kick ass at murder ball.
Certainly setting her apart from the likes of Batman and Robin. She even learned stick fighting while still paralyzed.
She can beat your ass even while sitting on hers.
Wow.
What can't she do in that wheelchair? Well, besides walk.
Not for too long, though. She eventually received neural implants in her brain and spine that let her walk again. Unfortunately, these devices are vulnerable to short-circuiting and AI hacking,
Oh.
but they're an acceptable risk and have been improved over time to resist such incursions.
Which just makes her that much harder to beat.
Yeah, I never knew about
She's
that.
strong enough to
I knew about the
outmuscle
paralysis.
a
I didn't know
giant
about
mutant shark and suplex a fully
getting around
grown
it or
tiger.
anything.
Move over, Joe Exotic. Make way for the Tiger Queen.
Thanks to her police father and her experience with the Bat family, Barbara Gordon's become a well-rounded protector of her city.
Crazy to think how far the wannabe sidekick has come.
Yeah.
She's really stepped out of Batman's shadow and become her own hero. The goddamn Batgirl.
Overstepping yourself a little? Try me.
Okay. SpiderGwen's turn.
Before Mary Jane, everyone's favorite spider superhero Peter Parker dated a girl named Gwendolyn Stacy.
But then she fell off a bridge and died. The end.
Except that isn't the end.
So sad.
The universe is full of possibilities. What if, in another timeline, that never happened? What if Peter never found that radioactive spider that made him Spider-Man in the first place? What if the superhero was Gwen?
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth 65. This Gwen was a teen kicking back in New York City. She's a drummer for her high school band and the daughter of a police chief.
And she's this world's one and only Spider-Woman.
Though you might know her as SpiderGwen. With her cool powers, she got busy fighting crime. But hey, who can blame her for showing off a bit? She does whatever a spider can.
Of
Though her
course.
police father didn't approve, insisting Spider-Woman could use her powers for the good of others. However, her close friend, the non-superpowered
Aw.
Peter of this world, had a different take.
He was getting bullied all the time and idolized Spider-Gwen's power. So of course he figured the only way to stop the bullies was to get powers like hers.
Ooh.
Except he accidentally turned himself into a giant monster lizard.
Oh, he's the lizard of
Okay.
that
Whom
universe?
the young Miss Stacy was forced to subdue. Peter ultimately succumbed to his experiments, dying in her arms.
Wow.
His death turned Spider-Woman into a fugitive on the run, but also inspired her to take her father's advice.
It was time to step up as a superhero.
Cool.
With her spiderific powers, she can crawl on walls and stick to any surface. Imagine, you're sitting on your couch being all that is man, and you look up at your ceiling, and instead of seeing a normal spider, there's a whole-ass woman up there. Yes, please.
Spider-Woman also has the classic spider sense, which constantly scans her surroundings and alerts her to incoming danger.
Neat.
How many times have we said the word spider so far? We get to 50, do we get a free taco?
I don't think
Thanks
so.
to her spider sense, Gwen's move fast enough to dodge bullets, lasers, and lightning from Electro.
On his best day, classic Spider-Mans even dodged beams of light, at least for a bit before he got smacked.
She's tough enough to
We already
power
said
through
lasers,
point-blank
so-
explosions just as well as electrocution. And yes, she has similar powers as other spider people like main universe Peter, who survived a massive explosion that annihilated the top of this skyscraper.
And she's strong enough to punch Rhino through a wall, the guy, not another animal, and lift over 10 tons.
But of course, to truly fit the role of Spider-Woman, she needed one last thing. Thanks to Janet Van Dyne, aka the Wasp, Gwen received her very own web shooters.
Ah.
Why do these people keep using sticky stuff that just gets everywhere? Kinda gross.
The web fluid isn't just sticky, but incredibly strong.
Yes.
Hey,
The tensile strength of regular spider silk can reportedly reach up to 178 kilograms per square millimeters in a cross-section. Scaled up to a human-sized web, it would be nearly as strong as steel.
Yeah.
oh, come on, Wiz, this is a new
You got
shirt.
yourself all
Can't be.
tangled.
It already has beer stains all over it.
That's just my style. Like all those girls that just cut a bunch of holes in their jeans and ruin them.
Even with those similar powers, Gwen's not
Look,
your
do what
average
you want.
spider hero. She's made a habit of traveling throughout the multiverse.
And she lost her powers permanently.
I didn't know that
they were stolen
the
by
multiverse traveling
Cindy
thing was
Moon because
canonical.
she's the worst. Gwen could briefly restore her powers with these isotope things, but she didn't really have a good solution until she found Venom.
Oh.
Really, Venom. You know, the scary alien
Yeah.
monster guy that eats brains.
Despite it being, well, Venom, Gwen took the symbiote for herself. Formed into her new suit, her powers were fully restored.
Huh.
Oh yes, she's back in black.
I
Wow.
should note this version of Venom is a bit different from the one you're most familiar with. It was lab created and not nearly as potent or
Oh,
powerful.
lab created. It's not like an
Force
alien.
talons, camouflage her, and do some limited shape-shifting. But Gwen won't be reforming from a puddle of goo or anything crazy like that. Also, she can create even more spiders? Who the hell came up with that? I guess the only problem is the symbiote's weak to loud sounds and fire. It's basically scared of a metal concert.
Ironic, considering its preferred look. But it's still Venom, and its violent nature tore Gwen apart. Eventually, she wound up unmasked and indicted.
What do you mean unmasked? Her name's SpiderGwen. Everyone should have figured that out.
Have you been paying attention?
Yes, Wiz. Badass spider chick kicked lots of ass.
After serving her time and even gaining control of the symbiote, shifting it into her more iconic getup,
Oh, okay.
Gwen took a trip to the mainline 616 Earth.
Basically, she got about as popular as Spider-Man, and they wanted to jam her in the universe.
There, she regained her secret identity. But since there were a few other Spider-Women running around, she took on a new moniker, Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider.
Wow.
That's right. This chick's
Roll
too
with it,
good to
Spider-Man.
protect one world. She's got two. It's awesome to see how far she's come from teenage show-off to guardian of the multiverse.
That's why I work alone.
I need.
Cool. Okay.
All right, the combatants.
I mean, so you have like the Bengal tiger feet, you have
Spider.
Spider-Gwen able to lift like 10 tons, you have able to dodge bullets, and you have able to dodge lasers, you know? So, yeah. And with Spidey sense, it makes sense that Please do Hulk versus Broly. It makes sense that Spider-Gwen would win. Not to mention, Gwen actually has
Stupid thing.
powers.
I said take me
As
to
cool as
Miles,
Barbara is,
not
you know.
This.
Seems like you're the stupid one for dropping by unannounced.
Don't you treat your guests well.
I don't know why there's a giant
Taken,
penny.
Dracula. I'll get out of your hair. See ya.
You can do it, Gwen! I'm relying on you. Interesting. Yeah, they didn't even mention in the analysis the exploding ones. We just kind of saw it with Dummy. At least that's what I assume that
End
was.
of the road, loser.
Haha! That's what you get for being rude.
I'll find you. You're on my turf.
Too late.
Very strong.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
We'll just let go. Oh, it's like one of the samurai things. Oh, okay, not quite. I was gonna say where they both strike and then you see who wins in the end.
Ow! 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 Damn it! Come on! Come on!
Yay! Spider-Man won!
Shoot! Ha! Ha! You haven't won yet.
Wait, what was that? Ooh, nasty.
Now I have.
That claw ending. It's mean.
KO! Looks like Batgirl's turned into Splatgirl.
Batgirl wielded an impressive arsenal with plenty of tools suited to combat Gwen's abilities. Not to mention, Gwen was no match for her stellar intelligence.
Which made this pretty close. There are plenty of versions of this fight where Batgirl could take down the symbiote with sound and fire.
But even with such weaknesses, the Ghost Spider held enough of her own advantages
Boomstick,
to take
no.
the win more times than not.
So while Batgirl's training was certainly better, the spider sense is just super broken. Gwen and other Spideys have held up against martial arts masters like Captain America, who is definitely on par with super ninjas like Batman.
Not to mention, Gwen was clearly stronger than Barbara. Plus,
Yeah.
Spider-Man survived that skyscraper bomb with the same powers, which Batgirl definitely wouldn't walk away from.
It was way bigger than the building blast that Batgirl barely survived. Hell, Batman's biggest explosion survival feat doesn't even match it.
Really?
Listen,
Okay.
I know explosions, and by measuring the size of this blast, I can tell it's equal to about 60 tons of TNT.
Okay.
But applying the same math stuff to Spider-Man's, it's more than
Wow,
double that.
I did think the
To be
Batman one
frank,
was bigger.
Batgirl had the tools she needed to take down Spider-Woman. Gwen was simply stronger, faster, tougher, and made good use of the spider sense, making it extremely difficult for Barbara to
That
land
was
a
an awkward
decisive
bit of
hit
it.
before taking
Like,
one
I
herself.
like the Spider-Man one
It seems
thing.
batty, but Batgirl was overwhelmed
But then
by
the twitch
SpiderGwen
before, like,
spinning
shooting
this
the
one in
web
her
out.
favor. Jesus webbed.
The winner is Spider-Gwen.
Claps for Spider-Gwen. Cool.
Thanks for checking out that episode of Death
You're
Battle.
welcome.
If you like that fight, be sure to check out the new season of RVB that I worked on, RVB 0. The first episode is up for free right now on roosterteeth.com. Check the link in the description.
Cool. Next time on Death Battle, we have it's a One Piece guy versus Rock Lee. Sanji, okay. See, I knew he was from One Piece. Like, not only is the animation style, you know, pretty unique for One Piece, but I actually recognized him as a character. I just, you know, I haven't watched it, so I didn't know his name or anything about him. But I know Rock Lee. Rock Lee's cool. He was one of my favorites growing up, actually. Anyway, let's talk about this death battle. So, as I said at the beginning, a lot of people didn't like this death battle. I was just told in the comments of the last one that it was, it's bad, like one of the worst in the season, or one of the worst, period. I didn't think it was terrible. Maybe that is because I was going in with my expectations, you know, low, given the comments that I read, but I really didn't think it was that bad. There were definitely parts of the animation that were, like, really stiff. Really stiff, really awkward. A lot of the character movements. Again, that thing, like, I enjoyed the Spider-Man 1, like, callback. But even that was, like, stiffer than I think it should have been. And then the weird, like, she, like, twitched again to shoot the web out at that part. Like, after doing the flip, it was really weird. Yeah, so a lot of parts were stiff. I did like, though, how they made use of the room and, you know, like, everything in the lab. Like, I thought it was cool that they got to move around, you know, throughout the lab and kind of take advantage of the different things within that environment. I do think the camera was a little bit, like, jerky and such. Like, it wasn't the best cinematography, for sure. But I didn't think it was as bad as I was expecting, given the comments that I received in the last reaction. It also was much better, a death battle overall, than, like, the 7, which, again, yeah. I didn't have any complaints, really, about the analyses for these two. I thought that, you know, I still found them, like, just as amusing as most death battle analyses. I still found them to be informative, you know, like, even though I, again, was spoiled on who would win and how, I feel I was able to, you know, I pulled out the stuff. I didn't get the explosion, because, like I said, I thought the Batman explosion was bigger than the one that Gwen survived, or the one that Spider-Man survived, you know. But, you know, as far as, like, the speed, as far as the Spidey sense, as far as the strength, you know, I felt I still was able to pick it out of the analyses there. So I didn't think that they were, like, really misleading people in those sections, or that they weren't including all of the information that was, you know, like, necessary in order to determine the winner kind of thing, which, you know, I feel they have in the past. You know, I feel. Maybe they didn't. But, yeah. So, like, did I enjoy this death battle? I did. Is it my favorite? No, definitely not. But, like, I had a good time with it, and so I'm fine. Like, I'm not... Do I think it could have been better? Absolutely. I think the animation could have been much better, but there is no way that I could do anything like that. And I know that that's not like the standard for how to determine quality of something, is whether or not you could produce something of similar or better value. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't think it was that bad as people had made it seem. And I wish that I could do things like that. So let me know what you all thought about this death battle in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this and that, etc., so on and so forth. Then next time we will be watching Death Battle Sanji versus Rock Lee, so I hope you're looking forward to that. With that, we're calling it here, so have a good one, everybody.